No.
Awesome. Thank
Okay.
you so much. Great.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just have like a couple quick questions for
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah.
First is, so currently how many kids you usually manage on these student portals?
We have two.
You've got two kids, okay. And then let's see. So when you're usually signing into this student portal, what kinds of tasks do you generally complete? Things like checking grades, permission slips, like what's your most used task here?
Um, well, this year we haven't done a lot besides checking grades, but it used to be things. That's my oldest son. Oh, look at him. He's getting
Great,
all
great.
A's. 92 in PE. What? Okay.
Dang, what an
Um,
athlete.
the um, so he's so checking grades is a big thing, and attendance, and honestly most of the time it's because the school thinks that he wasn't there for some reason and he was there. But also it used to be that we managed, because they were both riding the bus, and
Mhm.
we used to manage the bus this way.
Yeah, that was
um,
one of my questions. I know that there is a bus system on here. It kind of like notifies you when the bus is coming. And I was just wondering what that experience is like and if you had any like insights, like was it frustrating ever or did you have like a really easy time using it?
I'm trying to remember where the transportation is.
Mhm.
Um, we we haven't had any issues with the bus this year, but last year, like there would be times where where it was like really late or something, and then we'd try and get on. But yeah, it is a little bit confusing.
Hard to find.
Because it seems like there's like multiple different places you could go. So like the school has its own um, website that had, yeah, like there's the yellow bus request for Cascadia.
Okay.
Um, and I'm not sure I could tell you where the where transportation is. Let's look. The what we actually do now is that one kid has a phone and the other kid has an AirTag in his backpack. So that's how we
Wow.
find out when they're getting close to home.
That's so funny.
uh, so Orca card. Okay. Arrival, departure times. Hey, that's cool.
So those are kind of just like generic when it should arrive.
Yeah,
Um,
which is like something I always forget. So this is good to know.
yeah. Well, no worries if you can't find the whole bus system information stuff. And let's see. So I guess the task that you're generally completing on this website is like checking grades and making sure the attendance is clear.
Yes.
Okay, so checking grades and attendance, some bus information. Okay. And
And
then,
then
oh yeah.
at the start of the pandemic, we were definitely this is not the correct. At the start of the pandemic, we were definitely using Schoology a lot, and I can't figure out what's. Yeah, at the start of the pandemic, we were using Schoology a lot to kind of coach them about like finding their assignments and all that kind of stuff. And then they got to be kind of used to doing it on their own. And I don't actually know what they're doing. Well, I don't know how they're using it right now.
Yeah. And Schoology, is that kind of like, is it just for assignments currently? It just kind of shows you like what they have to do and then they can manage their assignments there? Or how does that work?
Yeah, it was. I wish I could log on to it. I haven't done it. I'm on a like foreign computer here, so
No, no worries.
it's this one is the correct one.
How do you feel about like all of these different logins that you have to do for here?
I do not like it. I have I use password management software, and I have literally 300 different passwords.
Yeah, I totally understand how that goes. My school is pretty similar in the way that it works, where there's a million websites you visit and all these passwords you have to remember.
Let's see, where would that be under Microsoft? This one, okay. Now where did it go? All right, start at the beginning. Sorry about that.
I think it's good for me to see how you like work through this system. I'm doing a lot of work with just like how can we make this user interface just a little bit easier for parents and students.
Oh my God, that is like so, that would have been so helpful at the start of the pandemic, because that was the thing, is like it felt like it was all really disconnected and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, well now it's
There we go.
okay. So looks like my youngest, Sashi, is not using it at all right now.
Uh-huh.
And Ravi, okay.
So this is kind of like a feed for them.
Yeah, each class or each teacher would post sort of in a bulletin board style, and then there'd be like comments and stuff like that. And I guess it's, I'm used to using, like looking over my son's shoulder and looking, and because I'd be able to see all this stuff, but they keep it hidden from us. But yeah, it's looks like they're posting club meetings and Teams meetings. A lot of comments
Yeah,
about this post. I wonder, what is this? Take the student survey. Okay. Okay. I wonder if we can look at his argumentative paragraph. Uh,
it seems like they kind of give the students like some privacy with this.
oh, look at this. That's awesome that he was watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
That is a very funny old movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Uh, and then okay, so Schoology seemed to be the place where like a lot of teachers, it seemed like all of their teachers were putting something there, but then there would, like, some teachers really preferred to use other things too, like on their own. So like what's an example? Like one of Ravi's teachers was using this thing called Class Dojo, um, and was using it really regularly. And I guess there's, it was just like a whole different set of school software. And she was new to Seattle Public Schools. And so she was just like, we're using this. Um, and so that was kind of annoying that we had to learn two different things. This was a very good thing that was easy to use.
Right.
And then I forgot what the thing Sashi's teacher was using, but it was actually really good. I can't I can't remember what it was, but it was a similar sort of,
Mm,
oh, Seesaw, that's what it was. So anyway, a whole other thing. So there are multiple
right.
different things that teachers were using. And that was really what was annoying, was like that it wasn't organized the same every time. And
Mhm.
then the other thing about Schoology that was weird is, I don't know, now I'm needing to use my Outlook. Where did it go? Wait, did I stop sharing?
You did, yeah.
Okay. Sound screen one. Okay. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, the other thing about Schoology was that things would get posted in different places too. So like some of the stuff would show up in like some of the assignments or communication would show up in materials, and then sometimes it would show up in updates. And so every teacher was using it slightly different. It wasn't like there was ever any, if there was any kind of training, it didn't seem like people were told, okay, everyone has to use it just like this.
Yeah.
And so we'd have to poke around a little bit to see where different teachers were hiding different stuff. So
Seems like the teachers were kind of mostly having issues figuring out like how to post to certain sections, or like wasn't very clear for them, which in turn maybe made it unclear for you guys.
well, I don't even know if it was that. I think it was just that, you know, software, a lot of times software just has different ways that people use it, and people were not using it in a standard way, which is
Mhm.
fine if it's just one kid with one class, but we had multiple kids you have with multiple classes. So
Right. Let's see. And then for you, I know you have like so many different forms that the school uses for you guys, but do you or have like a preferred method of organizing, like for yourself, what your students have going on? Things kind of like a calendar, to use like Google, something like that
yeah,
outside of this?
um, yeah, each one of our kids has a Google Calendar. Um, so uh, so yeah, each kid has soccer practice today. Um, and so that's how we keep track of it. And then I keep a file on my own personal computer, like a folder of, like, I don't know, just things that the teachers send out. And I have it organized by kid and by year and by class. And so when they send out like a handout on the talent show or whatever, that's where that goes.
Mhm. And do you ever use is it Clever? I think it's one other app they have on there.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Uh, Sorry, I work at Sound. That's why that keeps coming up. Need help signing in.
Not a big deal if you don't actually use Clever too. Um,
I want to say I do, but can you tell me more about it? Like what would I find out in Clever?
I actually don't know. You're the first person that I've talked to about this student portal at all. Looks like just another platform for holding some of the same kind of information, maybe.
Yeah, I don't.
So it looks like you can transfer your students there. Gives you kind of your roster information, learning programs. Um, yeah, it seems like just kind of another Schoology for you guys. Like you have this multiple different avenues of the same thing. Um,
Yeah, I think we've probably been directed to go there. Um, that's you. um, so there's something from the principal. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like we've been directed to go there to sign up or check certain things, but I,
mhm.
I've never gone there on my own.
Right, not important enough, probably. And then I guess one other part, there is another section for school pay. And I believe that's kind of like where you guys can pay for whatever the school needs. Like maybe it's like a field trip or something. Have you used
Mhm.
school pay before?
Yes,
You could just like
definitely.
tell me about your experience with that. If it was like easy to use, it was hard to use.
I recall it being easy to use, but like with everything else, it's like I'm not really I wasn't really sure whether the I was using it correctly or doing it the right way. You know, I don't recall getting like confirmations or anything like that.
Like you paid for something and it never sent you a confirmation or like at least a receipt or something.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, okay, I think it's done. I hope they know it's my kid. You know,
Right.
actually, it just came up, and my wife took care of this for band because they asked for a donation to participate in band.
Mhm.
Um, the does it link from here?
Believe, let's see. Oh, that's strange. It's not on the main page too. I think maybe school pay might be something like if you get a request from someone, then you can pay, but I'm not sure if it's like its own app. Oh, I see.
So I guess this is go to the source and click school pay.
Maybe it's just kind of one of those other menus in the source
Oh,
here.
this is where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I see.
Yeah, here it is. Okay. So it's hidden, you know, where the grades are.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably if I hit that, um, so it's sending me to a new domain. So this is a whole separate website. Okay, so that's what's weird about it is like
It's
I
like a
it's
separate website.
and it's not clear that okay, so I don't have a kid in third grade, so I could just go over here and oh, okay, so it does have the kid's name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah,
It's because everything's all disconnected. It's like a conglomeration of multiple different sites,
yeah.
and there's not like one centralized thing. So is your field like in web design or what do you do? What do
So
you?
I'm just at Seattle Central Creative Academy and I'm in a graphic design program, but for me, I've created my own path where I'm going more in a UI, UX and UI design route. So what I would be doing is redesigning the way that people experience things online. Um, in this particular case, like I'm working on trying to figure out a better way to put all of these different things into just one place. Like you log in into one piece of software and it
Yeah.
has absolutely everything. You can finish all of the tasks that are even important to you there. And kind of just like what I'm trying to do right now is like weed out like the biggest issues with the current system in place and like what people are actually using, since it seems like there's, you know, like so many different things. Like you've got like Clever, Schoology, another Schoology, Seesaw, Office, the Source, and then you have a separate tech support. I'm trying to figure out like kind of the things that you guys use most and actually utilize, and what's important to you is like teachers, parents, and students. And
Yeah.
that for me, like my end goal project would be to have like a visual UI design
Yeah.
and
I mean,
kind of
you notice
prototype.
you you notice this is like another main page, but it's totally set up differently than the other main page that I had landed on. So exact same information, except for where's the source? That was the original source.
Yeah.
So it's totally the same links, but it looks completely different. And so like, am I in the same place or am I in a different place or what's going on?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, and like in the pandemic, like trying to figure all this stuff out quickly and like, you know, freaking out about like what's going to happen with my kids. Plus, my wife and I are both healthcare workers. It
Mhm.
was like very stressful to be like, this isn't intuitive at all. And you know, those first few weeks were very like, and also like getting my kids used to like, you got to check your email every day. You know, you have to go to this place to check what your teacher wants you to do, except for when it's this other teacher, you got to go to this other place. And yeah, there's a big need to tidy up the interface.
Mhm.
So good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool if like any of these projects got sent off and they would actually use them. It seems like for the past couple years, students have been doing this project, and my I guess like they've been doing this project a couple years with different classes, and it doesn't seem like anyone's used any of them yet. But I guess it's like a bigger hurdle to tackle.
We see this in hospitals all the time too, where it's just kind of like throw everything that you can because like more resources is better. And you just have a bunch of disconnected stuff and a bunch of different ways to accomplish the same task. And
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it seems like it gets way too confusing for this kind of stuff. Right. Let's see.
so,
That's funny. I
yeah,
can see your video now.
yeah.
Your settings.
Why can't I'm trying to figure out why this is troubleshooting, hide, always. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I feel like this has been really illuminating and is really nice to be able to see kind of like what
Mhm.
you guys deal with in these interfaces. Because when I go in, I don't have access to anything. So the only times I'll get to see these interfaces is when I have these little studies that I can record. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so this has been really great.
Yeah, well, I guess, so you live over on Meridian, is that right?
My mom is in Meridian. That's actually the house I grew up in. And
Okay,
then I live down south with my boyfriend in a house down here. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say if you wanted to come by and check out like how we're actually using it at home, because work is a
yeah.
little bit weird, but um, you are certainly welcome to come by since you're a neighbor and you're you're not some weird stranger.
Yeah, that would be really amazing, actually. Probably more down the line too. Like right now,
Okay.
I'm not quite sure. Like, since you're the first person I've met with, and this is actually one of the first tasks I've had on this list, we're going to be working on this for the better part of, I think, just this whole quarter. So just having you in my pocket as a resource would be really awesome if I have any questions.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure my wife would love to help you too if I'm not available. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna
All right.
stop this recording.